So you went from, history major at Yale, and then were you pre-law at some point, and then you switched over to gaming at some point, or what was the beginning days of how did you get into Web3 in the first place?
Yeah, so I was a history major at Yale. I was really into like military and economic history, and I wanted to be a trader or an investor at that time. And I thought, hey, like the best way to predict the future and what I've seen work for people who have been successful in global macro investing was to have this really strong foundation in history. And so that was the thinking when I was studying history. And, I discovered Web3 a few times in my life. So I almost got roped into it in 2013 or 2014. My friends were starting a crypto fund and they tried to get me to drop out of school. But then I just thought my mom is going to have like a heart attack. I had already taken a long gap years from college. So I actually did not do that. And actually, interestingly, those friends, I think like, they lost a lot of money in Mount Gox and stuff like that. So I think they were a little bit maybe even too early.
You're lucky.
So that was my first. So that was one time that I discovered crypto. Another was when the Cyprus incident in 2012, where they basically confiscated funds from different bank accounts to pay off the sovereign debt in Cyprus. So I was aware of Bitcoin at the time and actually believed in Bitcoin. I think that was in 2012, right? I was like, oh, there needs to be some sort of a money that you can't store in a bank account if sovereigns are going to start confiscating money to pay off the sovereign debt. That may be, right, like some form of that over another, maybe the actual end game with, sovereign debt levels so high. So that was another time that I discovered crypto. But the decisive time that I discovered Web3 was through CryptoKitties, right? So in 2017, I was following ETH a bit more. Some of my really smart friends from high school actually were into it. And somehow I discovered, I saw an article, I think in Wired, about CryptoKitties. And it was like, boom, this is genetics, this is collecting, this is kind of gaming. It's at the intersection of all the things that I find interesting. So yeah, I dove in and, became part of the early community, met a lot of the people that, are now NFT builders or personalities, like the founders of OpenSea and people like Pranksy and Jimmy, who, and then of course also a lot of early Axie community members and Alex was also our COO at Sky Mavis was a CryptoKitties mod. Trung was like our CEO at Sky Mavis was kind of lurking and passively observing and learning. So.